Thank you for taking the time from your busy schedule to view the information on this site. I think you'll find the content well worth your time. For many of you, the information on the site could change your life, as it has for me and countless others. Can you imagine what life would be like if you no longer had to go to work? Can you imagine what your life would be like if you could turn back the clock and restore some of your youth? Maybe just an extra $300 a month is all you need. Maybe you just want to get off some of your medications. If you have the desire to improve your future, you've come to the right place. Before we go too much further, I'd like to discuss 5 key components that need to be in place for any successful business. You have to have the right company, the right products, a large and expanding market for those products, timing, and finally, a compensation structure that allows an average person to earn above average income. The only company that I've seen with all the components in place is Kyani. So what is Kyani? Dick and Gail Powell were living the good life. They had recently sold their business and were vacationing at a fishing lodge in Alaska. There they met a clinical anthropologist who was in the middle of a decade-long study about the incredible health of the Tlingit Indians. What was truly amazing is that they had no word for heart disease, cancer, diabetes. They did, however, have a word for strong medicine. That word was Kyani. The Powells learned that the majority of their diet was wild Alaskan blueberries and sockeye salmon. They returned to Idaho and a new business was hatched. Sensing they might need some help, they turned to their friends, the Hansen and Taylor families. The Hansen family grew 2 small gas stations into the largest private oil distribution company in 9 western states. They also owned restaurants and hotels. The Taylor family turned 3 acres, 1 horse and a plow into the second largest potato producer in all of Idaho, with over 23,000 irrigated acres. They are also one of the largest cattle ranchers in Idaho. Together, their annual sales are way north of $1 billion. Everything these families touch turns to gold. Talk about stability. We're not talking about billions on paper. We're talking about billions in oil, potatoes, and cattle. As savvy as they are in their respective businesses, they realized that Kyani was a new venture to them. So what did they do? They did a nationwide search for a CEO that was as knowledgeable about this industry as they were in theirs. They hired a man right off the board of the Direct Selling Association, Mr. Michael Brashears. Incredible experience to match their own. With virtually unlimited backing and top-notch business acumen, they then needed the best science. Meet Dr. Abbas Qutab. Dr. Qutab received his medical degree in his home country of Pakistan, earned a doctorate of Oriental Medicine in Japan, and graduated from the prestigious Palmer College of Chiropractic in the United States. He holds a Ph.D. in Ayurvedic medicine and is board-certified in naturopathic medicine. In 2003, Dr. Qutab received the Physician of the Year award from the U.S. Congress. Dr. Barry Tan, Ph.D., is president of American River Nutrition. Dr. Tan is recognized as the worldwide leading expert on tocotrienols and owns multiple global patents on them. We'll learn a lot more about tocotrienols in just a few minutes. Dr. Claire Francomano, M.D., Yale College and Johns Hopkins School of Medicine, Chief of the Medical Genetics Branch at the National Human Genome Research Institute at the National Institute of Health. Serving as its clinical director, Dr. Francomano was instrumental in leading the mapping of the human genome. Not only a brilliant doctor, a brilliant scientist. Dr. Francomano has published over 100 peer-reviewed papers. Without a doubt, we've got the right company, but that's just the beginning. You also need the right products. Kyani is involved in the ever-growing wellness and anti-aging industry with world-class products. Researchers at Tufts University in Boston recently determined that blueberries rank #1 overall in antioxidant activity compared to 40 common fresh fruits and vegetables. Wild Alaskan blueberries featured in Kyani Sunrise have 10 to 30 times the antioxidant power of common blueberries. Kyani Sunrise is a super potent antioxidant blend featuring the wild Alaskan blueberry. It also contains red raspberries, aloe vera, cranberry, grapeseed and grapeskin extract, commonly referred to as resveratrol, Concord grapes, pomegranate, noni, wolfberry or goji, and bee pollen. You may recognize goji and noni. Entire companies have been based on noni juice or goji juice. All of that in just 1 ounce a day in the morning, thus the name Sunrise. What's even more incredible, Kyani has added 100% of your recommended daily allowance of vitamins, and it also has trace minerals. These next 2 slides illustrate just how many fruits and vegetables you'd need to eat to get the equivalent vitamins that are in 1 ounce of Sunrise. Can you imagine eating 80 cups of broccoli, 17 eggs, 96 cups of kidney beans? So just what does Sunrise do? Sunrise helps enable effective stress management, supports reduced cholesterol oxidation, helps maintain heart health, supports immune system, aids in healthy inflammatory response, provides increased energy, facilitates improved brain function. And I almost forgot to mention a really important fact. Kyani Sunrise is 97% bioavailable. What this means is that 97% of sunrise is being absorbed by our body. Compare that to chalk vitamins, you're lucky to get 47%, if that. Sunrise is an absolutely wonderful product and is available for only $32 a month. You could build an entire company on Sunrise alone. Just for fun, I pulled up another very well-respected company's vitamin product. I was floored to see they're now asking $152. $152 for a vitamin? At $32 a bottle that will last a month? Kyani is giving it away. Earlier mentioned Dr. Barry Tan. Dr. Tan has devoted his life to studying tocotrienols. Tocotrienols are basically one half of vitamin E. Vitamin E was the darling of cardiologists a few years ago. What Dr. Tan and other researchers found was that tocotrienols are the most effective half of vitamin E. In fact, alpha tocopherols, or the other half, interfere with the tocotrienol. Dr. Tan recently discovered the only tocopherol-free source of tocotrienols and quickly patented the extraction process. I hope you might write down the word tocotrienol. Wikipedia has a fantastic article talking about the benefits of tocotrienols in cancer, specifically breast, prostate, pancreatic, and skin cancer. It also talks about tocotrienols in diabetes as well as tocotrienols in cholesterol. It really is worth your time. Kyani had Dr. Tan develop a product that featured tocotrienols. They also wanted to include the other half of the Tlingit diet, and that was wild Alaskan sockeye salmon. His product? Kyani Sunset. In addition to the tocotrienol, Kyani Sunset features one of the most potent and purest omega-3s on the planet that's certified mercury-free. Some of the amazing health benefits? Kyani Sunset helps cardiovascular health, helps maintain healthy cholesterol levels, supports lower triglycerides, helps reduce inflammation, supports normal blood sugar levels, supports normal blood pressure, supports healthy immune response, supports brain function, promotes healthy skin, hair, on and on. All this with no side effects. What really jumped out to me was the healthy cholesterol. I was recently speaking with an MD who just returned from an anti-aging conference. I was really surprised to learn that in Italy it's considered medical malpractice to prescribe statin drugs without trying alternative therapies such as fish oil for 6 months. I heard that statin drugs are bad for us, but medical malpractice? You have to be kidding. Just for fun, I looked up the side effect disclaimer for the #1 statin, Lipitor. Some of the side effects may include diarrhea, constipation, gas, headache, joint pain, forgetfulness, or memory loss, muscle pain, tenderness or weakness, lack of energy, fever, chest pain, nausea, extreme tiredness, weakness, unusual bleeding or bruising, loss of appetite, pain in the upper right part of the stomach, flu-like symptoms, dark-colored urine, yellowing of the skin or eyes, rash, hives, itching, difficulty breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, throat, tongue, lips, eyes, hands, feet, ankles, or lower legs, hoarseness. And then it goes on to say astravancin may cause other side effects. You got to be kidding me. People really take this? Not only do they have side effects, they cut off your own body's production of CoQ10. Guys, if you come away with one thing from this, if you've been brainwashed into taking statins, please make sure you're on a CoQ10 supplement. I sincerely hope you'll give Kyani Sunset a 30-day try. I'm convinced without a doubt you'll notice. Again, a product that could easily support a $100 price tag, and Kyani makes it available to us for only $32. Kyani Nitro Effects and Kyani Nitro Extreme. Nitric oxide is a gas that's produced in our own body. It's what's called a cell signaling molecule. It's so important we cannot live without it for 3 seconds. In 1998, 3 scientists were given a Nobel Prize for discovering how nitric oxide works in our body. When we hit roughly 23 years of age, our body's production of nitric oxide starts to diminish. You might make the correlation that I did, that at roughly 23 is when I started to gain weight, lose hair, started to get wrinkles. What's even more important is they discovered how beneficial nitric oxide is for the cardiovascular system. Every system in the body requires nitric oxide. They also found that nitric oxide relaxes your blood vessels and increases blood flow and circulation, which is extremely beneficial for inflammation, arthritis, wound healing, diabetes, and hypertension, just to name a few. It's a super potent anti-inflammatory and helps tremendously with pain management. Nitric oxide will also help with sports performance. Increased circulation helps get more oxygen to your muscles. I almost forgot. Viagra is based on the same science. Kyani has taken their product to the next level. As far as I know, the Nitro product line is the only next generation of nitric oxide product out there that does not contain L-arginine, which can have some really nasty side effects. Just to summarize, Kyani Nitro and Nitro Extreme help reduce stiffening of the arteries, help fight plaque buildup, help with stroke and heart attack, help release growth hormone, help absorb nutrients, help our immune system, boosts our energy, promotes healthy blood sugar levels. Any diabetics out there? Helps with sexual function, helps sports performance. I could go on and on. Kyani Nitro Extreme is just what it says, extreme. They've made Nitro Extreme even more potent by adding more nitrates, magnesium, CoQ10, zinc, chromium, niacin. Incredibly good for us. I recently had the opportunity to speak with Dr. Terry Burnett, a plastic surgeon. She has the Kyani product line on the wall in her office. I asked her why Kyani. Her response was simply the best antioxidant and best anti-inflammatory she has found. When I pressed her for more, she stated that everything that's wrong with us, from cancer, heart disease, diabetes, down to the wrinkles on her face, are all the result of oxidative stress and inflammation. She could not emphasize enough the benefit of good nutrition. I was also able to listen to Dr. Norm Shealy, MD, PhD. He was speaking about hypertension. He said that hypertension was the most common cause of cardiovascular disease, heart attack, and stroke. He said it affects 1/3 of all Americans. Dr. Shealy personally tried Nitro Extreme and saw results in less than 5 minutes. He was so impressed he wanted to try it on some of his patients who had hypertension, some of whom were on 2 and 3 medications. Dr. Shealy concluded that Kyani Nitro Extreme is 69% effective in fighting hypertension. He went on to say he's never seen a drug in any field that is 69% effective with no side effects. You might ask, why have I never heard of nitric oxide? I did a quick search on the PubMed website just to see if there's any research on nitric oxide. I was blown away to see over 108,000 studies. Just for fun, I put in statin, came up with 24,000. Put in Lipitor, it only had 4,600. You can clearly see our products make us different. I would urge you to try our products risk-free for a month. Let your body feel the results. You see, these are products my family would use even if there were no business attached. We have the right company. We have the right products. How big are the markets for these products? Just a few common ailments over $75 billion market for the drug companies. According to Paul Zane Pilsner, the world's most accurate economic forecaster for the last 30 years, the wellness industry will be the next trillion-dollar industry. And the main reason? Baby boomers. According to Dr. Kenneth Dykewald in his book Age Power, whoever is positioned in front of these 76 million people with the right products has made a fortune. Whammo, Gerber Baby, Buster Brown Shoes, on up through minivans, Apple computers, and compact discs. We're now experiencing something that we've never experienced before, and that is convergence. You see, when the oldest boomer was 19, the youngest was 1. They had nothing in common. Same thing when they were 21 and 39. It's only now, when the youngest boomers are in their 40s and the oldest in their 60s, where they're all wanting the same thing: to fight the aging process. It's not just about living longer, it's about living better, and the boomers have an estimated $2.1 trillion in spending power to help them achieve this. We have the right company, the right products, a huge and growing market for those products, so what's next? Timing. Well, the last 4 years have been pretty brutal on our economy. According to Newsweek, 33% of all men 65 to 69 years old are forced to keep on working. That is, assuming they even have a job. The same goes for 23% of women. Their median income, $26,000 a year. Unemployment's hovering close to 10%. There are now close to 47 million people on food stamps. Technology is now replacing jobs, and more jobs are going overseas. Do you really think it's going to get better next year? I recently called to speak with a tech about my internet, only to find the guy was in India. Just this morning I saw USB is laying off another 10,000 workers. A few years ago, these people were untouchable. Guys, there's an amazing pool of talented people waiting to hear about Kyani. Well, the workforce is shrinking and corporate layoffs are at an all-time high. Kyani is growing like crazy. Richard Poe, former editor of Success magazine, states in his book Wave 3, if you can get involved early with a company that lasts a long time, you can earn a fortune. He might as well have been writing about Kyani because we're exactly what he has described, and you're here first. If you have an entrepreneurial bone in your body, you cannot help but love the timing. We have the right company, the right products, a huge and growing market for those products, a timing story that no one can argue with. What's next? Compensation. So how do we make money? One way is by sharing products. When you see a good show or eat at a good restaurant, what do? You tell people. Has anyone ever paid you for that? Well, when you try Kyani's products, you're going to love them. And what do you think you'll do? You will tell people. The only difference is that you'll now be paid to do what you've always done for free. The next way of making money is leverage. J. Paul Getty said it best. I'd rather have 1% of the effort of 100 people than 100% of my own efforts. Through my efforts, I was able to introduce Kyani to John. He had a friend named Vaughn. Vaughn just happened to live in the Netherlands. Vaughn has since introduced Kyani to several others. When I go to bed tonight at 11 o'clock, it'll be 7 o'clock in the morning in the Netherlands. John and I will be making money while we sleep. This is what makes our Kyani business so exciting. Not only are we allowed to sell the products, that alone would be enough to get excited about. What Kyani empowers us to do is involve others who then do the same. That is where the sky becomes the limit. Kyani's Paygate accumulator allows us to earn on an entire organization of individuals as they consume products, sell products, and introduce Kyani to others who do the same thing. And that's just the beginning. Kyani actually has 8 different ways of paying us, as well as a ridiculous incentive program that includes an Audi A4 Turbo. Whether you're working towards a rank bonus, the next Paygate, or the next level of car bonus, there's always a carrot in front of you. On top of that, Kyani offers generational matching checks down 9 generations. They also offer the most easily attainable car bonus in the industry. Kyani is the right company. We have the right products, a huge and growing market for those products, a time in story that no one can argue with. The best compensation plan in the industry? What's next? How do we get started? I've spoken with tons of people who have told me that someday they wish to have their own business. Just for fun, I did a quick search on what it might take to start a business. I looked at Entrepreneur Magazine's Franchise 500 Top 10. Once again, it takes money to get started. McDonald's, 1 to 2 million. Subway, 87,000 on up. H&R Block, 31,000. Now you're talking. But what if you don't have 31,000? How about real estate? My calculations show that it takes over $1,000, and if you go with one of the reputable companies, you get to give them half your earnings up to the first $50,000 in commissions. Guys, I started my Kyani business for less than I spent on my summer seafair party. I showed a profit my first week. Whether you want to make an extra $1,000 a month or $10,000 a month and have Kyani pay for a new luxury car, we can show you a simple 3-step process to help you achieve this. All you have to do now is ask yourself one question. If everything you've heard here is true, and it's all verifiable, is there anything that would keep you from getting started right now? And now for the car, an Audi A4. I told you earlier that Kyani has the best car program in the industry. Not only have I qualified for it, so have 3 people on my team, as well as the man that introduced me to Kyani. Kyani has exceeded my expectations time and time again. Not only is this the best way to earn income, it's the best way to live. Kyani has checked all the boxes. We have the right company. We've got cutting-edge products, a large and growing market, a timing story that no one can argue with, a compensation plan that's the best in the industry. We also have training and support to virtually guarantee your success. I hope you might speak with the person who referred you to this site. Either this is a business you'd like to let us help you build, or maybe you'd like to start by just trying the products, risk-free for a month. Either way, we're here to help. I hope I get to meet you in person soon. Thank you so much for your time.